You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio Channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Hello there. Welcome to WGSN-DB Digital Broadcasting, Going Solo Network. You're listening to the Business Showcase. I'm your host today, CC Schatz, author, radio personality, and CEO of My Friends Connect. Well, hello there. Today we have with us Jasmine Johnson. She is with Body Attitudes Health and Fitness right here in local Palm Harbor.
Yes, Body Altitude is located in Palm Harbor.
Wonderful. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get into doing this? Have you always been fit? Has it always been a passion for you to be fit and do all the fitness stuff?
Well, it has in a lot of unconventional ways. So I've always participated in some type of physical activity, whether it was through sports, and my real first love is dance. So I've been dancing for many years, and of course, coming into adulthood and life in general, we don't have the same flexibility of being able to rehearse for hours and look for dance gigs and things of that sort. So I found myself really being attracted to dance fitness. And that's where I met one of our other partners, Pamela Socorro, who at the time was a Zumba education specialist. So going around the country and going around the world and certifying those who are interested in becoming Zumba instructors.
It is so true because when you talk about fitness, a lot of it's like a taboo type of thing. It's, oh gosh, and I don't want to go out there and get sweaty and do all of this. And so we really don't like doing it. But if we can find something that we really do enjoy, and like myself, dancing was always a very big factor in my life as I was growing up, and I love to do it. And I am getting a little bit older now, getting the aches and pains and things I can't do that I used to be able to do. But it is a way of keeping us in shape, but also following your passion. So I think for the listeners out there, if you're not doing something that is within fitness to keep you healthy, it's good to look at your passion. So look at some of the things that maybe drove you to do certain things that you do. So if you like dance or if there's different things that you like, maybe you can incorporate those activities as a fitness concept that can get you going. And I love what you guys do, Jasmine. I think it's really cool, the Zumba. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you get into Zumba?
Sure. So Zumba it's a dance fitness that utilizes some very basic movements to Latin rhythms and really world rhythms to get people moving, get the cardiovascular system going, also having a great time while doing it. So for me, I just stepped into a neighborhood gym, and they were doing a special class, just like dancing, and you're guaranteed to burn, they probably said something like 400 or 500 calories. So I was definitely game. And I got in there, and within the first 15 minutes, I was like, oh my goodness, like, I was sweating and I was out of breath, and it was two indicators there for me is that I was not in as great a shape as I thought that I was. Physically, I thought that I looked well. I was fitting into all of my clothes, and I wasn't having any issues in terms of appearance, but it was pretty clear by my breathing and the amount of sweat in such a short amount of time that I was deconditioned, and I was doing something, like you said, that I loved. So that was pretty much for me, it was a moment of a reality check that I needed to start to pay more attention to what was going on internally and not just use my physical appearance as a gauge for health, which I think many of us have the tendency to do both ways, whether we are underweight at our normal weight or overweight, that there's a lot of other components that indicate how we're doing health-wise. So that was it for me.
And I've noticed, too, for myself, being older, your flexibility, being mobile, those all come into play. And so it's very important to keep active. And so I think what you do is, kind of going into a more of the body attitude, so to speak. You can tailor your fitness program to what is easy for you and then gradually build up a little bit more and more. Can you not?
Absolutely. I mean, I think part of it is mind over matter. And so I know that we're going to talk a little bit about our complete wellness approach, but it's getting that little bit of motivation, finding something that you enjoy. So not just throwing yourself into, like you said, the most grueling workout ever. And then resenting trying and it makes it so much difficult to get back into the swing of things when you're not enjoying yourself, or you injure yourself because you were overly ambitious, or, you didn't really take the time to find something that's a good fit to ease your way in. So for Pamela and I, it was dance. We knew that was our favorite activity, our favorite pastime that we could incorporate into our wellness and then also share with others. So we have several different dance fitness styles that we offer at Body Altitudes. And for our co-owner, Hassan, who grew up boxing. So what dance is to us, boxing is to him. And he started several of our fitness programs that include using body weight training. So not even going into hardcore deadlifts and things of that sort, but using common items, specifically the body, to do calisthenics and other types of exercises that people will find really challenge themselves with to begin. And now many of them have moved on through our system and are doing things like TRX suspension, full-on body contact boxing, and it's just been a delight to see people really grow on their own journey to wellness at our studio.
That is great. I know that the boxing is a lot with strength. Strength building is very, very vital, I think, as we continue to get older. So that's a very important factor. So having the dance and the passion and the enjoying all of that is keeping your cardio up, and you're active with that, which will definitely help with burning calories. But the strength training a little bit is also very vital. So I guess really you have to have kind of a well-rounded routine fitness program that's going to help you all the way around within your life, to keep you going.
You are right on target. This is something that all of your listeners, including you and I, can benefit from. So, we tend to start out with what we have the greatest interest in. And then, of course, what we're good at, and we probably see losing some weight. I know for me, once I started a few years ago and started to get back into the game, and I was dancing probably 3 to 4 times a week, shed probably 2 to 3 inches off my waistline, which was kind of my indicator for success. And everyone has something different, whether it's a few pounds, sleeping better, feeling better, what have you. So after that, I started to notice that things started to plateau after a few weeks. And took about a month and a half, so somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks, I started to notice that the changes weren't happening anymore. And I see this with our clients all the time. I have the pleasure of being at the studio every day and seeing who's going in, who's going out, who's taking what classes. And then after about 2 months of their routine, they'll say, something's not working anymore. I can't lose anymore, or I'm not getting stronger. And we sit down and we take a look at their pattern, and then we change it up, because just like you said, there has to be a balance. You have to continuously shock and challenge the body to do different things so that it'll continue to respond. So for many of my ladies who come, they do Zumba 4 times a week, and they started to plateau, we start to swap out a few of those classes for strength classes. And they're amazed that they're losing again, that their muscles are becoming more formed. Clients that I have that are, as they call it, skinny fat. So we call it that when it's, you're relatively thin, but there's no muscular definition. And we start to add the strength, the boxing, Pilates, and they're able to start seeing muscles come in where they haven't seen them before. And the same thing for the gentlemen. They tend to do really well with losing weight quickly. We're always envious of that. When men start a fitness routine or a nutritional plan, they just drop the pounds, but they also plateau. So we like to introduce them to things that involve more flexibility and higher cardio outside of just the strength training.
So what would you say, for instance, and I speak for myself, is that I have a particular problem area. So when you have a problem area and you can't seem to get anything moving within that area, there are certain exercises and things that you do focus on that you can try to help people with their particular problem areas?
Yes. It's so awesome that you say that, because I just met a woman yesterday who came in and she said, I need by August my abs and my butt. I need those things. She had a definite area and a definite date that those things need to be in order. So we took a look at the schedule and we looked at classes that target those areas. But I'll tell you where the magic is. It's in the nutrition. It's in the nutrition. So, and that is usually like the last thing folks want to hear. They want to exercise most of their woes away. But you can pretty much guarantee melting fat away from those problem areas. I know for all of us, there are some pretty standard areas, which is the belly fat, the back, the lower back, as well as under the arms and our arm, the extra wave as we call it. And those areas generally, you can see the fat melt away with a really good nutrition plan, as well as target with cardio and strength, the balance. So I think the balance is key. I think folks get they get their blinders on. I want abs, so I'm only going to do sit-ups. But we don't get the calorie burn that's necessary to burn the fat. And we also don't work some of the larger muscles of the body, such as the legs, which keep you burning calories for much longer than a set of sit-ups. And then, of course, the nutrition, which is key. You've probably seen things like abs are made in the kitchen. Well, that's true for most of our muscles.
Now, you all have a complete package that helps someone when they come to your gym, which enables you to assess them and determine what exactly the necessary steps are that needs to be put in place. And to better understand what their needs are, you also help them with their nutrition.
Yes. We do. So when Hassan, myself, and Pamela sat down, we had taken our combined experiences of working with folks in different capacities. Pamela had a really strong background in personal training. I have a strong background in mental health support, and Hassan has a strong background on working with people at risk, youth and adults, and also in the public health sector. So one of the things that we all identified is that all of our clients that had, and personal friends and family that had some issues with whether it was overweight, underweight, trying to build muscle, trying to get rid of fat, or just trying to get motivated for health purposes or adhere to a program that would produce better health outcomes. One of the common denominators is that there was always some, I don't want to say like necessarily a mental health issue, but there was always something that was much bigger than following the directions of a diet or going to work out 3 times a week. There was some type of mental barrier really stood in the way of folks being able to be successful with their health plans. We would find that while working out and doing a personal training session, that the training session could not get complete because sometimes it would be emotional outbursts related to something that was going on at home or at work, or lots of cancellations because of poor work-life balance, where you can't make it to the gym because you can never get it out of work on time, or even challenges with nutrition because of things going on with parenting, having problems putting one's foot down with what food comes in and out of the house because of some issues around parenting and roles. So all of these different things that were occurring with our private clients, we really wanted to give clients an opportunity at our studio at Body Altitude to be successful in all of those areas because we know that one has a direct impact and correlation on the other. So we have 3 mental health therapists on board, and you don't have like a formal diagnosis or anything of that sort. You just may really be serious about moving forward with your health and fitness goals and creating a overall healthy lifestyle. So we sit down and we talk about barriers to reaching one's goal. We talk about anything that may be going on totally related or unrelated to weight gain, weight loss, what have you, and really figure out if there's any emotional eating that's taking place, if there are any old habits, pre-existing issues, even behaviors that we grew up on, trying to relearn a healthy living. And this tends to be the most successful for all of our clients, and when they're able to address more than just their fitness and nutritional needs, when we're actually looking at them as an entire person and addressing those things that can make being in shape and staying healthy a real challenge.
I really like this. It seems like to me you guys have the full circle. And a lot of places, and I'm not mentioning any names, they're lacking in 1 or 2 of those factors. And that makes it hard for the individual to stay on task when they have so many different things evolving in their lives. And so when we all look at health, fitness-wise, we all need it. I mean, it doesn't matter what our body shape is, our hearts, our souls, we all need that type of exercise to be able to continue. Then when you talk about nutrition, we all can eat better. We all can do better. And having someone to help us be able to really target some of the essence of what we do eat to make sure that what we're eating is right for us and our bodies, our particular bodies, because each body is different. I think that's very valuable. But what you've really incorporated in what you're doing is the emotional aspect of it. And that is so crucial because in today's world, it is so hard. It is so hard to get by. It's hard to get through life. And at the end of the day, when you're thinking about going to go work out, or at the beginning of the day, when you're just getting up and you've got 101 things you've got to do, to try to wrap your mind around what is really good for you and taking that few minutes to be able to focus on living healthier and living longer is really a great key. And I love how you've said that. I love how you've said that. Living healthy and healthy living. They kind of go hand in hand, but we don't always do that, do we?
You're absolutely right. And one of the things you see that you pointed out, and if you didn't say it, I probably would have forgotten. We are a physician supervised organization, and I know that this is unique. I'll just go ahead and say that this is unique to any health and fitness studio or gym locally and internationally. And we work with 2 physicians to oversee any type of nutrition, exercise, health, wellness, as well as mental health programming that we do at Body Altitudes. And the reason that we find this to be so important is because you mentioned it, different body types, different needs. Everyone has a unique makeup. So you and I could be eating the same number of calories, the exact same food, and have a completely different outcome because of our age, our experience, our cultural background, our ethnic background. So many different things play into how our body responds. And one of the things that we also notice is that by seeing our clients, pretty much I see my members at least 2 to 3 times a week, which is far more than I can say for how many times any of us see our physician. And by no means am I their medical provider, but I have an opportunity to interact with them quite a bit. So one of the things that we offer in partnership with BodyFit MD, which is a physician-supervised healthcare system, is those of our clients that are really looking to make some major changes. We sit down as a team. So you have your trainers, which I am leading the group fitness instructors. So I'm speaking on behalf of all of the fitness aspects that we have to offer at the studio. You're sitting down with a physician and also a counselor. And we sit down, and obviously the client and any family members that they want to get involved. Our physician will review any blood work, any medications, do a full assessment, even confer with your own physician, your primary care provider, and make sure that the plan that you have in front of you is perfect for you physically and from a medical standpoint, that there's no contraindications with, let's just say, some of these protein powders. Well, for someone who has a kidney issue or a gut sensitivity, we have to be really mindful about what we're suggesting. So we do find that just going the extra mile, it produces results. It gives our clients an opportunity to have their entire healthcare system be a part of their everyday life. And it's just been a phenomenal addition to Body Altitudes, having both the mental health aspect, the medical approach, as well as the holistic approach.
I do think it's very good. We need all of those things to be able to move forward, and especially if we have a sensitive area, we have an area that we haven't been able to work on, if we have a fear of going into working out. There's so many different things, I think, that holds us back, so many different fears that holds us back from moving forward to certain aspects of fitness. So I think it's great that you guys are really there with arms open wide to help those people to walk through the door and say, come on, whatever your problem is, we can address it. We can work it. If it's medical, then you can tackle the nutrition and the exercise. So it really all goes wonderfully together. So I love the program. I love being able to have that for people so they can really take it from one step at a time. And so let me ask you, when you put a program together, do you have like a step 1, step 2, step 3 type of scenario?
We do have process written out in that way, but nothing ever goes quite as planned, right? So we have kind of phases that we like to walk people through, and we call them lifestyle phases to give you an idea. In a perfect world, but we meet each client exactly where they are. So for some of these services and parts of the process are not going to work for them. They're not motivated by them, or they don't have an interest. They've tried it before, or budget could be an issue. So we try really hard not to get so bogged down on process and you must follow this system, but really try to meet people where they are and what will work for them. So in theory, we do a full assessment with one of our owners. We sit down with our clients. We get the best picture of what's going on in their world. What is an average day-to-day situation? And then we ask them to track for a few days for us. So we have some different apps, and everyone's different. Some people are super techie and they love having an app on their phone. Or they join our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group that allows people to ask questions throughout the day, encourage one another, have some accountability. Or maybe they're more of the handwritten journal type. So, we allow that. It gives us an opportunity to get a real picture for what truly is going on. And for many of our clients, they have no idea what they eat all day long. It never registers to them how many times they pick up a snack on the way to the bathroom in their office setting, how many times a week they really eat out versus how many times they plan to bring lunch. So we kind of track. Anything that you want outcome with, you have to start by tracking it, a baseline. So we do that for about a week, and throughout the week we're in communication, whether it's by text message or telephone calls or emails, and then we sit down and we assess the situation. For many of our clients, the next step is what we call a pantry transformation. So we actually go to the home of our clients, and either myself, Hassan, or Pamela. We go to their home. We work with them through taking all the things that are unhealthy, that are not in line with their plan, not our plan, their goal. And we either move it out to the front onto the counter and we say, you know what, spend the next week getting rid of this food. Whether you give it away, which we will take the donations and bring it to a local pantry, or you eat it and that's the last time that you buy it until further notice, or do away with it. So we pull those things out and then we bring to the front. We show them what good choices they've been making. So everyone that is dealing with weight issues and health issues, they're not doing everything wrong. Sometimes it's just a little bit of tweaking, or seeing a label that says, something like 98% fat-free and not really understanding how to read everything that's going on the label. We help them with identifying the good choices that they are making, what they should continue to do. Everything is not about people doing things wrong or shaming our clients, which we see that at a lot of other places. And I know that it comes from a place of good intent, but it does have a lasting psychological and emotional effect on folks when you're not providing them with any type of positive praise for their efforts. So that's pretty much step 2, do a pantry transformation, see how that goes for a week, continue to track, and then we offer a grocery shopping experience. By now, the pantry's kind of empty and it's time to replenish. So we go to a local grocery store. We generally pick, so let me ask you, Cece, what meal do you normally make at home?
Dear, this is bad.
No. It's true to your life. So what meal can you pretty much count on coming from your home and not an outside?
Probably macaroni and cheese.
Okay. And what is that, like maybe for dinner? That's your quick dinner?
Yeah, sometimes I'll eat that. I'm terrible. I'll make a grilled cheese sandwich. I live on grilled cheese sandwich.
Okay, that's fine. So we would probably focus during our shopping trip because we're not trying to change everything at once. We're trying to make small changes over time so that it becomes, in fact, a lifestyle and not a diet per se. So if you will say, okay, well, when we go to the grocery store today, I'll meet you at Publix at 2, and we're going to focus on items for dinner. So that way, when you're reaching into your cupboards because it's late, you've just been on the radio all day, you've been busy with your organizations, and you're exhausted, you just need dinner. Instead of making the quick macaroni and cheese or the grilled cheese sandwich, we have helped you identify several options that work for your lifestyle, your food preference, and your lifestyle again, because generally that's what leads all of our decisions. How much time do you really have to prepare a healthy meal? And do you need something that pops in the microwave, or are you the type to cook on Sunday for the entire week? All of those things matter. They totally determine if you're going to be successful or not. We do the grocery shopping trip. Many times we take the entire family with us because, believe it or not, although the parents work, shop, and cook, the kids tend to dictate what goes in the mouth of the adults, right? So we get the kids involved, we get as many people in the household involved in the shopping trip, so that way we can help modify behavior. One of the easiest things that everyone that's listening can do starting today, and we do this immediately when we go and we ask people to reach for an item, reach for what you normally purchase. So let's just say it's you and you're going to purchase your macaroni and cheese, and you put your arm out right in front because the supermarket is set up with the most attractive items and who paid for the best shelf price right in front of your nose, eye level. We ask people to start looking up and down before grabbing anything off the shelf. And you're going to be surprised, because I know it'll be stuck in your head when you go to the grocery store next. You're going to be surprised at the option, the healthier option that's either above or below, and the less expensive option that's going to be either above or below. So that small change in behavior is already helping people shift their ideas about how they shop. It's breaking probably years of our adulthood of shopping for ourselves and reaching for what we know and reaching for what's being advertised to us versus what we need. So that is quite a mouthful, but that is pretty much our first major phase of a lifestyle change.
That is so important, because in my life, I've had 5 children, and my lifestyle was completely different when I was married. But now that I'm single, my kids are older, I'm pretty much by myself now. I don't take care of myself like you used to. Before I would say, oh, no, you got to have your vegetables, and I was very conscious about making sure that my kids and my family ate well. But I find myself now being single, I just get to the end of the day and I just make a little thing that I make a grilled cheese sandwich on, and I just make a grilled cheese sandwich, no vegetable, no nothing. And so when you asked me that, I thought to myself, my gosh, my life has totally changed. I'm being single, I'm eat like processed foods. And I know last time I went to the doctor, he said to me, you really have to stop eating so much processed food. There's so much salt. It's really not good for us. And I'm eating that type of food because it's quick, and I don't want to fuss with making a big meal for myself. But the thing is, I have to change my mindset, and I need to go with fresher food, salad, are healthier for me. But just with what you were saying is a wake-up call for me. So I think with people going in, talking with you about it, talking about their lifestyle, maybe something has changed in their life, maybe talking with you and sitting down with you and sharing some of those things will help them see different options that they have.
You're a perfect example of a life change. Nothing traumatic. That's what happens. Kids grow up and they move out, and you still have to eat, right? So nothing, it's not a negative event, but it's a change. It's a change in your life, which then calls for a change in how you look at eating, because I'm sure like you said, for many years, you had a system going that met the needs of your family. And now I tried to phrase it in a way that, okay, so for all of those years, you did what was right by your children and by your family. And now how do we do what's right by you? So the conversation, I think many folks, their eyes are just open in a different way, because we ask questions and we do activities that require you to look at things a little bit different. And many people are used to having been given a list of food to buy and to make. And goodness, we know that there's so much great information that's available online and in books. And I mean, it's all there. We know what we need to do, but it's really the behavior modification and how you think about yourself in terms of health, and also what you value in terms of health, that can be very different than just receiving information and actually applying it.
Jasmine, if you could share something that would help our listeners to be able to move forward in their lives, maybe reevaluate where they're at, where they want to be, what would you say to them?
First things first is, please, let's all stop comparing ourselves. That's number one. Quite often, and I don't think that this is unique to the women and the men as well that come into our gym, that have a particular goal in mind that looks like someone else, that is someone else's best attribute. And I always want to know, for myself as well as from my clients, is what is the best for you? The first thing is, please stop comparing yourself. If I could have her this and her that and his that, I'd be perfect. And sometimes I find it very interesting to see what it is that folks are comparing themselves to. And quite frankly, a lot of those things are genetically impossible. So we set ourselves up with unrealistic goals, and then we get disappointed when we're unable to reach those goals, which lead into a cycle of self-defeating behavior. So I ask you today to please come up with just one very realistic goal for yourself, because it only takes one small change. So today I'm going to just throw out a few. Maybe drinking an extra glass of water, or for myself right now, I've been getting just about half a gallon of water in a day. My goal is really a gallon, but I'm not accomplishing it. So I'm just going with an extra glass on top of that half a gallon. Perhaps joining a gym today, that may be a little unrealistic because of time and because of maybe finances are just not so where you can add an additional membership. But you can make a small goal that for 10 minutes, you're going to jog in place right in front of your computer. Something very, very realistic. And once you've accomplished that goal, and make sure you give yourself an end time. So for 1 week, I'm going to spend 10 minutes out of my day, and I'm going to do some small exercise, whatever that may be. Then start to prepare your next goal. Maybe that's going to be 20 minutes 3 times a week, and so on and so forth. My next suggestion is to find a buddy. There is nothing more important than accountability when it comes to really all aspects of self-improvement. Once it's out there, we are responsible, and a good health buddy or a friend will help hold you accountable and motivate you when you can't motivate yourself. So perhaps that's joining a group, whether a Facebook group, or one of our biggest things are we do challenges, and we ask someone to lead up the challenge, and we ask for everyone to pair up in 2 or 3s to help hold each other accountable. So don't sit around and wait for a challenge to happen. Perhaps you can be the one to set up the challenge within your circle of friends or family members.
That's a great idea.
Thank you. I just can't tell you, a realistic goal and an accountability partner are key to success. I certainly want to wake up one day and look like, I don't know, who will I go for today? Beyonce, right? But you know what? I don't have her height. My body composition is very different, and I can guarantee you when she wakes up, she can think of someone that she would like to have more of their this or more of their that. So I try really, really, really hard not to compare myself to others, and to really make it, no matter where I am in my fitness and nutrition, planning, goal, how far off I am off base or how on point I am, I'm always making small little goals, small little challenges every day to be better able to meet them and to feel really proud when I do.
That's wonderful. So tell us, how can we get a hold of you?
So the best way to reach us is by email, and you can find us at info@bodyaltitudes.com. So that's BODYALTITUDES.com. We are on every form of social media that you can think of, just at Body Altitudes, and via telephone 727-267-1653. You can reach us by any of our social media handles or online or telephone, and you don't have to live in the Palm Harbor area. We offer mobile, so Body Altitudes Mobile, where we do nutrition, coaching, and mental health services virtually as well. And this works out really great for our members that travel quite a bit. Many of them are still full-time members of the studio and take advantage of our mobile planning and communication system. And then we do have members that are as far out on the West Coast and New York, New Jersey area, in which we develop programming for them and support them through many modes of technology.
That's wonderful. So really, you can live anywhere.
And for those of you that are local and want to stop in and take a class, all you have to do is say that you heard about us on this show and your first class is on us. You try something new. We'll be more than happy to show you around and get you started.
Sounds great. Well, I thank you so much for being on the show today, Jasmine. It's been very educational for myself. It's definitely something I need to incorporate and stop eating those grilled cheese sandwiches. And so a wake-up call for me. So
wonderful.
For some of those out there too. But the whole thing is, it's not about the way we look, because I'm loved inside and out by many people that I know, and I don't have a problem with that. What I want to do is live longer. And so
that's right.
what we all want. So we have to take care of our bodies in order to do that. It's a realism. So they pick up the phone, give Jasmine a call, schedule to come out and have a look at the place. If you cannot get to her, just call her and she can arrange something online for you that can tailor to your needs. And I think that's what's so important. So most certainly. Well, Jasmine, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and you specifically let me know if we could be any help to you in your journey.
Well, definitely. Thank you so much. Well, this is Cece with Going Solo and Business Showcase. We thank you so much for listening, and we hope that you'll meet us right back here, same place, same time. Thank you. Bye-bye for now.